So, sir, let me ask you, the presidential, INEC has released the list of 16 presidential candidates, but as it is, only 3 or so presidential candidates are being constantly discussed every day. Atiku, Peter Obi, and maybe Adebayo or Sowore, or to some extent Donald Duke, because he's not been around. Maybe now that he's back. Why is the exclusion of all the other candidates? Even like your candidate, I didn't even know that you are not running.
Well, I tell you, and of course you agree with me. I have said before that Bola Ahmed Tinubu came and obliterate everything that democracy represents. In terms of ability to have a multi-party system, which is what defines democracy. Because that's what presents choice,
exactly,
before the people. Build up to this, what antics, the things that happen to most political parties. How government infiltrated them, and then try to throw them off balance, not to be able to really identify and have a credible candidate that can represent the opposition. So, and they are still at it, as we speak. So the point is that this is not a normal democracy we are having. And believe you me, if you dig very deep into some of the candidates that you mentioned today, you should ask yourself, what happened? Why was ADC, why did they split?
Exactly.
That was supposed to be the most formidable, opposition that you can ever dream of. So why did they split? It's not on their own. Somebody somehow, was behind it, so as to fracture or neutralize a strong opposition, going into 2027 elections. So all these things we are talking about, believe you me, if you investigate, most of the candidates you mentioned that are in other parties, they are all working for Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Really?
I'm just telling you.
Wow.
I'm in the game, so I'm telling
Somebody sat here and said the same thing.
No, I said I'm a national chairman
that they
of the
have,
party.
Apart from APC
Yes.
has other franchises.
Definitely, he has.
Wow.
They have.
Really, sir?
They have.
Wow.
They have.
This is
that's
shocking.
why I say this is a different kind of democracy.
Wow.
We're having
Wow.
and Bola Ahmed Tinubu because
it's a new terrain for all of us.
Yeah, it's something that I know is just for this time. You can't take this one into the future.
Wow.
This one has no future. It has its own lifetime, and that's Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Once he finishes his tenure, this kind of democracy will end.
Wow.
Because the Nigerians will have seen through why it happened.
And sir, there will be no consequence for this? All this that we're saying, there will be no consequence, no sanctions? Because my worry, sir, why I want to disagree with you on the last bit that
yes,
this is peculiar to Bola Tinubu, is his own brand of democracy, and then after him, it will end. I beg to differ with you.
Go ahead.
There are disciples of the president now.
Yes.
Arch-disciples.
Yes.
Very, very strong students of the Tinubu.
Yes.
Democracy that we're practicing now in this brand. Are you not worried?
No, I'm not worried.
Okay.
At all, I'm not worried.
Really?
Yeah, because I can see the futility of everything they are doing as far as democracy is concerned. Democracy, that's why I said if you want to break the law, take power. Yes. Once you seize the power, then you can. But you see, I can see the end of all these things that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing. Yes, it will come to a dead end.
Wow.
Where nobody would like to practice this kind of thing again because it will not pay. End of the day, it won't.
Sir, the president has repeated the choice of VP Shettima as his running mate. What's your view on the Muslim ticket?
Yeah, I've said one thing before. I don't know why I should keep repeating it. That, you see, absolute power corrupts absolutely. And the president has done one thing, and what he did is to ensure that he reduced the political space to only Bola Ahmed Tinubu space. So he can even take somebody from another country if he likes to be the VP. He knows that he's going to win because he has managed to reduce everything to whatever he wants to do. That's what happens. That's what goes. So it's Muslim tickets. I don't know. No, it has no effect on the Muslims. Because what is the role of vice president in terms of the substance? I'm talking about decisions. On how deliverables are given to people in government. Government is about impacting, isn't it, on people? So how much can a vice president impact, even on himself? Don't talk of others, and then talk about the faith that he practices or something that will benefit something. Nothing. It means nothing in the actual sense of it. What happens is that this president you have today is as good as a dictator, And he did it intentionally. That's why the National Assembly, he appointed all the principal officers. He handpicked them. This is what I want. This is the one that should be the Senate President. This one should be the Speaker. This one should be Deputy. This one should be this and that. He handpicked them. So he runs the National Assembly. Wow. He runs the judiciary. Wow. He runs the executive. So now he runs INEC. That's why he has to defend INEC, because they are working for him. They are his employees. He employed them. He gets wherever he wants to be the chairman of INEC or the REC in other places. If he doesn't want you, you go. So why shouldn't he defend INEC like he did in his in interaction with the Catholic bishops? And then the police, the same thing. So he has managed to corner everything and to ensure that nothing works, under this democracy to the benefit of the people. It's only to the benefit of Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Let's talk about your party now. Who is your presidential candidate?
Ambassador Aliyu.
Okay. And he has a running mate?
Yes, he has.
What are their chances of winning in 2027? What clear pathways do they have?
Well, the clear pathway they have is the shrunk space that is available. I don't know whether there's any space available. I've been trying to see what space is available to the opposition in this country. To really make it. Where is that space? It's not in terms of the laws. The laws are not made in favor of the, or in fair. They are not fair to the opposition. The laws we have governing the process, and these are constitutional. It's a constitutional democracy, so it's governed by laws, isn't it? But these laws are not meant to favor or even to be fair to the opposition party. Another thing is resources. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has unhindered access to our resources before, during, after the elections. The central bank is opened if he wants. Is it dollars you want, or pounds sterling, or naira, or which one do you want, Mr. President? They'll bring it to him, and they'll share it to whoever they want to share it to, and the police will assist them in sharing. That's what we have seen. In the past, So, which opposition party has the kind of resources that the president has? None. Okay. If I had to worsen the situation, he now made sure that out of 36 governors that you have, almost 32 or how many, are all for him, and even the ones that are not for him, they are just not, but deep and under, they are for him. So it's a total. That's why when you ask what are the chances of an opposition party in this Bola Ahmed Tinubu democracy, I'm trying to find the space, because you see, you have to be able to protect and ensure that vote counts. But votes under this system will not count. And they made sure it won't count, because that's why when they were doing the amendment to the Electoral Act, they smuggled in, the issue of when there is no power or something like that.
When you guys were insisting on electronic transmission of results and collation,
yes,
they said no, there must be room for manual.
When power fails,
exactly.
and the power will fail in any case. So the issue is that and then they say the chain is as strong as the weakest point in it, isn't it? So that weakest point is for a purpose. They put it there. So even if you win, who is going to declare you the winner? Who? Bola Ahmed Tinubu's employees? In INEC, or which ones? Or do you have another INEC somewhere?
Okay, so if you are saying this, then so why should anybody bother about the next election? You should just allow the president to continue. Don't you think?
No. We should bother. We should bother about the next elections, because it's about the people.
Because
I'm saying this.
I want you to take this together, sir, and
yes,
then you continue with your thoughts. Are you going into an alliance? Because there's a group called G100 now. They're talking about, again, they're going back to the Ibadan summit, that all the opposition candidates should come together, bury their egos, and rally around one person. Like Dr. Akim Baba told me here, that each in the party going against Tinubu is almost impossible. But that if you all come together, at least you have a fair or a slim chance. Are you going into an alliance?
But are they there? Are they there on the... I've told you from the beginning that all of them, most of them, I can't say all of them, except Atiku, and I can tell you, is out for a serious engagement.
Are you serious, sir?
I'm very serious about it.
That only Atiku you can vouch for?
Yes.
Is serious?
Yes.
As an opposition against Tinubu?
Yes.
You are serious, sir?
The rest are pretenders.
Seriously, sir?
They are not contenders.
Including Sowore, Adebayo Adewole, Peter Obi, especially the obedient movement, sir.
I asked you a question from the beginning. I said, why did they leave ADC? If there will be about the G100, Summit, why didn't they stay in one place in the first instance? If G100 is a reality, when you have a political platform where you can come out as one, you destroy it yourself. And now you want to deceive Nigerians that, no, we are thinking about G100. Which G100? They're all pretenders. They're not contenders. The only contender I can see today is Atiku Abubakar.
Really, sir? Wow.
Look at it yourself, sir.
Wow.
Look at it yourself.
This is serious, Alhaji. This is really
serious.
No.
But okay, think about it yourself. Tell me. These people you mentioned...
Because Alhaji, Atiku Abubakar remained in ADC. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying?
Not only because he remained in ADC, he comes out with his resources. Not so much noise making, to ensure that he gets this power. But the rest are pretenders. If they're not pretending, they will remain in one camp. They don't have to be looking for each other now that, okay, let's come back. Who is fooling who, for God's sake?
Final question, sir. You said you only believe Atiku is the only opposition candidate, serious opposition. You said so now.
It is true.
What is your advice to other, you call them pretenders?
Pretenders,
what
exactly.
Would you tell them to do to rally Atiku so that we can save this country?
They cannot even rally around Atiku.
Oh, wow.
They can't.
Wow. What pathway do you see for Atiku?
Is to go home, because democracy is like, that's why when you say we shouldn't give up.
So Atiku should forge ahead.
Yes, but I mean, Tinubu is doing his own. God is doing his own.
God is doing his own.
Yes. God has a purpose for this country. And it's not Bola Ahmed Tinubu's purpose, no. With this start, we're not going to end with Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We'll go beyond him.
Wow.
Definitely.
I like your very strong optimism. Your very strong sense of optimism.
Was he there before? Was he there before? 1 minute before he became the president, did he believe he was going to be the president of this country? When they were doing their campaigns, the primaries, a day before that primary, did he think he will ever become the president of this country? Buhari and what have you, they wanted something else, but could they do it? They didn't have power, you mean? That's what I'm saying. All these things are just things that will pass with the time.